Part 1/3. Title: I found a secret forum. They were talking about me. So, I wasn't planning on posting this, at least not yet. I've been lurking here for a while, and honestly, I'm not the "let me tell you my weird life story" kind of person. I read your posts, I laugh at the funny stuff, maybe leave the occasional comment when I feel brave. But something happened a few weeks ago that's been eating away at me, and I need to put it somewhere before I start pacing the walls like a lunatic. It started pretty innocently. I was looking for an old archived post on a tech forum I used to frequent in college, one of those dusty corners of the internet where people with too much free time argue over Linux distros and cable management. The site had been officially shut down years ago, but I'd heard whispers that there was a private mirror, maintained by ex-members. I thought, hey, maybe I can find my old threads about overclocking my sad little Toshiba laptop. I followed some dead-end links, clicked through a couple of sketchy redirects, and finally stumbled onto what looked like an old PHP-BB forum. The header banner was broken, half the text was in Cyrillic, and the only thing on the homepage was a single subforum called The Garden. No description, no rules. Just The Garden. The weird part? I didn't need to register to read the posts. The first thread I clicked was titled Updates on the Target. I figured it was about some dumb ARG or maybe a video game clan rivalry. But then I saw my name. My full name. And then I saw my address. At first, my brain just flat out rejected it. You know that thing where you see your own phone number written down somewhere and it feels wrong? That's how it hit me. Like, that can't be me. It's just a coincidence. But the more I scrolled, the more specific it got. User, Sharon Watcher. He left the house at 8:14 a.m. again today. Blue jacket this time. Grocery bag in his left hand. Did not see the cat. My cat's name was in the next post. My cat. I thought I was losing my mind. There were about 30 different usernames in that thread, all posting updates. Times I left for work. What I bought at the store. When I took the trash out. Some of it was so mundane it was almost funny, like, he scratched his nose while waiting for the bus, but there was this undercurrent of, I don't know, intimacy? Like they weren't just reporting it, they were savoring it. I slammed my laptop shut so fast I actually cracked the corner of the case. My hands were sweating. I tried to think logically, maybe it was some kind of creepy but harmless LARP? Maybe my name was being used as a character? But they had pictures. Grainy, phone-quality pictures. Me, at the bus stop. Me, unlocking my front door. Me, standing in the kitchen through my window at night. I couldn't breathe. That night I didn't sleep. I kept imagining someone outside my window, in the dark, phone held up, just watching. I made coffee at 3 a.m. and kept the lights off so I could see outside. Nothing. Dead quiet. In the morning, I tried going to work like normal, but the second I stepped outside I felt it. That prickling, back of your neck heat. I spun around so fast I probably looked like a lunatic, but there was no one. Just the old lady across the street watering her plants. She gave me a little wave. I didn't wave back. When I got home that evening, I couldn't stop myself. I opened the site again. This time, the thread had grown by another 5 pages. New posts. New photos. A few of them from that morning. They knew I'd worn my gray hoodie. They knew I'd stopped at the corner store for milk. And one of them wrote, "He saw me today." I'm sure of it. At this point I was 50% terrified and 50% furious. I posted in the thread. Yeah, I know, stupid idea, but I just snapped. I wrote, "Who are you people? Stop following me or I'm calling the police." Within seconds, there was a reply. User, Ivygate. We're just tending the garden. I didn't even understand what that meant, but my comment disappeared almost instantly, like it had been deleted by a mod. Then, another post. User, Glassroot. Don't be afraid. It's your turn to watch. I slammed the tab closed and this time I shut my Wi-Fi off completely. The next few days were a blur. I avoided the forum. I tried to focus on normal life, but every time I stepped outside, I scanned every face. I started taking different routes to work. I kept my curtains shut, even in the day. But last Thursday I made a mistake. I was scrolling Reddit in bed when I noticed my Wi-Fi icon flicker. I thought it was just my spotty connection, but when I checked my network list, there was a new one. An open network. The name? The Garden Guest. My stomach dropped. Curiosity got the better of me. I connected. My browser instantly opened to a login page, not for the forum I'd seen before, but something new. Black background, white text. Welcome back, my name. You've been promoted. I'm shaking just writing this. The page had a single button, enter. I don't know why I clicked it. Habit? Stupidity? It took me to a completely different part of the site, one I swear wasn't there before. There were only 2 threads. Observation protocols. Your first assignment. And this is the part where things go from creepy to something else entirely. The observation protocols thread was basically a manual. How to follow someone without being noticed. How to photograph through windows without glare. How to memorize license plates quickly. There were tips about when to approach and how to communicate without words. I scrolled for maybe 5 minutes before I felt physically sick. Then I opened your first assignment. It was a profile. A person. Full name, address, photo. A guy maybe my age, wearing a red baseball cap, smiling like it was his driver's license photo. There were notes underneath. Lives alone. Works from home. Walks to the park around 5 p.m. every day. Pays cash for groceries. Suspect he feeds the stray dog behind the laundromat. The last line made me drop my phone. He's been watching you too. That was 3 days ago. I haven't been back on the site since. I don't know if I should call the police, or if doing that will just escalate things. But last night, when I was taking out my trash, I saw him. The guy from the photo. Standing across the street. Watching. He smiled. I don't know what to do. If I disappear, someone please tell my cat I'm sorry. Part 2/3. Title, I found a secret forum. They were talking about me. Part 2. I don't think people talk enough about how unnerving a smile can be. Movies make it out like a smile is warm, charming, even disarming. But when it's the wrong kind, when it's not from a friend or a stranger asking for directions, it's wrong. That smile stayed with me all night, burned into the back of my eyelids. It wasn't a, hey, how's it going, smile. It was a, I know something you don't, smile. I didn't go outside the next day. I worked from home, curtains drawn, ignoring the sunlight like some kind of paranoid vampire. I jumped at every sound, the mail slot clanking, the refrigerator humming. Even my cat, Pickles, knocking over a plant made me swear out loud. By mid-afternoon I was spiraling. My brain kept looping, he's been watching you too. I couldn't stand it. I pulled my laptop out of the closet, yes, I had literally hidden it from myself, turned the Wi-Fi back on, and searched for the garden again. The site was gone. Not just gone, the whole server refused the connection. No cached pages, no trace in the history. It was like I'd hallucinated it. I should have taken that as a blessing. Closed the book. Walked away. But I didn't. Instead, I opened Reddit and started digging. I posted on r/deepweb and r/tech support gore under a throwaway account, asking if anyone had heard of the garden. Most of the replies were jokes, people sending me stock photos of tomato plants, links to gardening blogs. A couple users told me to touch grass, which, fair. But one comment stood out. You/dead node, If you got in, they already know you. Stay offline. I DM'd them immediately. Me, you know about the garden? Dead node, stop messaging. They're reading this. Then their account was deleted. That night I noticed something else, my router lights blinking in a weird pattern. Normally it's just random flickers, but this was steady, 3 blinks, pause, 2 blinks. Over and over. I don't know much about networking, but I know enough to be scared when something is too regular. I unplugged it. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. No caller ID. I don't usually answer, but I don't know, maybe I was hoping it was a friend. I picked up. Hello? Silence. Then a click. Then my own voice. Who are you people? Stop following me or I'm calling the police. The exact words I'd posted on their forum. I didn't sleep at all. In the morning, there was an envelope under my door. No stamp, no address, just my name in blocky handwriting. Inside, a single Polaroid of me sleeping, lit by what looked like my own bedside lamp. I threw up in the sink. I was ready to call the cops right then. But here's the thing, what do you even tell them? Hello, officer, a secret forum is watching me, they sent me a bedtime selfie? Without hard evidence of who's doing it, I'd be the weirdo wasting police time. Still, I decided I'd at least report it the next day. Except the next day, things got weirder. Around noon, my internet came back on, by itself. My laptop, which I swear I had shut, was open on my desk. The screen was on the "Your First Assignment" page, but the profile had changed. It wasn't the guy in the red cap anymore. It was me. Same layout, same creepy bullet points. Lives alone. Cat named Pickles. Leaves blinds shut now. Keeps knives in top drawer by sink. The last note made my chest go tight. Still doesn't know who in the building is watching. The building. I rent an apartment in a converted Victorian, 6 units, paper-thin walls. I've waved at my neighbors in the hallway. Shared laundry with them. And now I had to wonder, was one of them taking notes for this? That evening I tested it. I opened my door suddenly, pretending to take trash out. The hallway was empty. But when I turned to close the door, I heard a faint click, like a camera shutter, from somewhere above me. I looked up. The attic hatch was cracked open just a sliver. I didn't go up. I couldn't. Instead, I locked my door, pushed a chair under the handle, and sat on the couch holding the heaviest flashlight I own. Pickles curled up next to me like nothing was wrong, purring away, while I stared at that attic hatch through the peephole. 2 nights later, my curiosity outweighed my fear. I decided to check the hatch in daylight. I dragged my kitchen chair into the hallway, climbed up, and pushed the panel aside. The smell hit me first, dust and something faintly sweet, like rotting fruit. The space was mostly empty. A few old boxes, insulation. But in the far corner, there was a little nest, a folding chair, a pile of snack wrappers, and a DSLR camera on a tripod pointed through a gap in the insulation, directly into my apartment. I pulled the camera down, flipped through the photos. Me. Cooking. Reading. Sleeping. Even showering, taken through the warped glass of my bathroom window. My stomach twisted so hard I almost dropped the thing. I took the camera straight to my unit, grabbed my phone to call the police, and that's when I noticed the new Wi-Fi network again. The garden guest. This time, when I connected, there was no login page. Just a full-screen live video feed. It was my living room. Me, holding the camera. In the bottom corner of the screen, a chat box popped up. Messages started appearing, rapid fire. Root hand, he found the nest. Ivygate, good. Move him to stage 2. Sharon Watcher, is he ready? Glassroot, he doesn't have a choice. The feed cut to black. I called the police anyway. 2 officers came by, took my statement, and inspected the attic. Of course, the chair, wrappers, and camera were gone. The hatch was closed like it had never been touched. They were polite but skeptical, told me to call if anything else happens. When they left, I sat in my silent apartment, every creak of the old floorboards making me flinch. Around midnight, my door buzzer went off. Not a knock. The buzzer. Long, steady, not letting go. I froze. After a full minute, it stopped. I waited another 10 before creeping to the peephole. Nothing. I checked the hallway camera the building keeps in the lobby. The feed was glitchy, but I caught one clear frame, the guy in the red baseball cap, holding a cardboard box. This morning, the box was outside my door. No markings. Inside, a second Polaroid. This one wasn't of me. It was of Pickles. The handwriting on the back said, "He's part of the garden too." Now I'm sitting here with every light on, laptop open, wondering if I should pack a bag and run. But where? If they know my building, my routines, even my cat. I don't know if distance matters. And I can't stop thinking about something one of the forum users wrote days ago. Don't be afraid. It's your turn to watch. I think they want me to follow someone. Maybe even replace someone. And I think they won't stop until I do. Part 3/3. Title: I found a secret forum. They were talking about me. Part 3. I didn't sleep. I just sat there, staring at the Polaroid of Pickles until the sun came up. At 6 a.m., my phone buzzed. Unknown number again. Against every instinct, I answered. This time, there was a voice. Calm. Measured. Not robotic, but deliberate. Your subject leaves at 8. Red scarf. Follow. Do not be seen. Before I could speak, the call ended. I stood there in my kitchen, barefoot, holding my phone like it was something poisonous. Every rational part of me wanted to smash it, to throw it out the window. But the other part, the part they've been working on for weeks, whispered, if you don't follow, they'll come inside. At 7:55, I was standing in the lobby, hoodie pulled up, trying to look casual. My heart was going like a jackhammer. Right on cue, a woman I'd never seen before stepped out of the unit across from mine. Mid-30s, red scarf, holding a reusable grocery bag. She didn't look at me. Just walked past and out the door. I told myself I'd just see where she went. Nothing more. She took the long way toward the main street, stopping once to check her phone. I stayed half a block back, pretending to tie my shoe whenever she slowed. My palms were sweating so bad I kept wiping them on my jeans. We passed the park. She crossed into a quieter residential street. Then she stopped abruptly and turned around. Our eyes met. I froze. She didn't look surprised, more like curious. She walked toward me, not hurried, just steady. When she was a few feet away, she smiled. Not the red-cap guy's smile. Something worse. You're new, she said. My mouth went dry. Don't worry. We all start somewhere. She stepped past me like nothing had happened. I watched her go until she turned a corner and vanished. My phone buzzed again. A text this time. Nice work. Stage 2 complete. I wanted to throw up right there on the sidewalk. When I got home, the Wi-Fi network was back, the garden guest. Against my better judgment, I connected. No login page, no feed this time, just a single sentence. You've been chosen to replace him. A link appeared under it. I clicked. It opened a profile, the guy in the red cap. Updated notes. Sloppy. Careless. Target for removal. My hand started shaking so hard I almost dropped the laptop. At the bottom, there was a button, Accept Assignment. I closed the lid and shoved it under the couch. That night, I heard footsteps in the hallway. Slow, deliberate, stopping outside my door. Then a light scratching, like someone running a fingernail along the wood. I didn't move. After a minute, the sound stopped. I heard the door to the unit across from mine, red scarves, click open and close. The next day, I went to the police again. I told them everything. The photos, the attic, the woman, the man in the cap. They listened, took notes, and then told me they couldn't do much without physical evidence. I offered to show them the forum, but when we got to my place, the network was gone. One of the officers gave me a look I recognized immediately. This guy's imagining things. I tried to stay offline after that. No Wi-Fi, no laptop. I even bought a cheap flip phone. But the garden found me anyway. 3 days ago, I came home to find my door unlocked. Nothing was stolen, but everything was moved. Slightly. The chair by the window was angled differently. The toothpaste was on the wrong side of the sink. And on my bed was another Polaroid, me, standing in the park, looking over my shoulder at the woman in the red scarf. On the back, in the same blocky handwriting. It's time. That night, I dreamed of a long, overgrown path. Trees arching overhead, shadows moving between them. At the end was a gate, and beyond it, rows of faces I recognized, the red-capped guy, the scarf woman, even the old lady who waters her plants across the street. All of them watching me. When I woke up, there was dirt on my shoes. Yesterday, I saw him again. Red-capped guy. Not across the street this time, in the lobby. He looked thinner. Eyes sunken, skin pale. He didn't smile. As I passed, he leaned in close and whispered, "Don't take it." Before I could respond, the scarf woman stepped out of the stairwell. She put a hand on his shoulder. "He's not yours anymore." They walked out together. Today, the box was back outside my door. Inside, a Polaroid of the red-capped guy, lying on the ground in what looked like a wooded area. His eyes were closed. His red cap was gone. The note on the back. "Welcome to the garden." Underneath, in smaller handwriting. "Your turn to choose." I haven't opened my laptop yet. But it's sitting there on the table, lid closed, humming faintly like it's waiting. And I can't stop thinking about the woman's voice, calm and certain, "We all start somewhere." If you see someone watching you from across the street, smiling, maybe don't smile back. Because if the garden picks you, you don't leave.